Hello and welcome to Respect the Ball. It's your boy, K, and I'm back again with these previews. On Group I, we're on Norway, in a group of Norway, Senegal, Iraq, and France. And as always, guys, if you enjoy these content and these previews, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, share. And as always, let's get it. Yeah, guys, we're doing Norway. The Norwegians from Scandinavia in Europe. Disclaimer, guys, yesterday was very difficult for me to record. So, yeah, I think yesterday was arguably one of my worst videos, one of my worst days ever, So I just wanted to, put that out there, but I still went out there and recorded. But yeah, guys, let's get on with the matters at hand. We are Norway, what a historical achievement for Norway qualifying for this World Cup. Since I've been alive, I've never seen them play at a World Cup or at a major tournament, to be frank. Or I ain't never seen them at a major tournament or thingy since I've been alive. But this new generation is it, man. This is it, man. They have the firepower. They have a manager that understands them. Like everything is just like everything looks right for Norway. The only way they can go is up. And I think they are people one of people's dark horses. They've been drawn into a difficult group with France and Senegal. I'm not gonna mention Iraq, but I don't think they're on Norway's level. But I think Senegal and France are gonna be tough opposition. They're slightly ahead of them, France and sorry for that. France and Senegal, they are slightly ahead of them, in terms of FIFA rankings and in terms of like squad level. But Norway do have the pieces. They can do it, guys. They can do it. They have a man to understand them. Sol Bakken, he's a Norwegian international. I lost read. I was watching one of their thingies, and he actually led them in the 1998. I don't know what it was, but he was there. Was it a World Cup? The '88 World Cup? Yeah, I think it was. And he's an international. He's a native. He understands them. He has them playing good football, balanced football. So again, I don't say this often for most teams, but the sky's the limit. I think Norway could go for. Do they have the depth? Particularly not. I'm not a fan of their defense, and that ties into the lineups. Let me pull up the lineups for Norway. On the right hand side, on your right hand side. We have obviously in goal. We have Oya Neeland. Solid enough goalkeeper. Last I heard he was at Sevilla. I'm not really following his career. He was at Sevilla. He's sorry for the background noise and my dog. Ugh, agitated. But yeah, Neelan, the backside we have Reyes and I rate Reyes and very high. I think he had the most assists, in the Bundesliga. Correct me if I'm wrong, for Dortmund. Historical achievement, for a right back to have the most assists is crazy. But he's good going forward, sorry for that. Anyway, then you have obviously Hagem and Ayer. Christopher Ayer, I think he is from Brentford. I don't know the Hagem guy. Didn't really look into him. But Christopher Ayer, obviously from Brentford. Solid defender will bring Premier League experience. I think their defense is their weakness. They have Wolfer again at left back. I think their defense might be their undoing. They might put in Leo Ostergaard, but this is from the data I've gathered. This will be their defense. And I think the defense might be their undoing. Their defense is not as solid as maybe the Senegal's defense, you know, and the French defense, obviously, and some other teams, its defense. So I think the defense might be the demise. But then again, when you have, the midfield, I think the midfield is very solid. You have Patrick Berg from the Norwegian League from Bodo Glimt, solid enough player. I think he will start. There were murmurs that they might start that other guy whose name starts with an A. I won't bother pronouncing his name, I'll butcher it. But I think Patrick Berg, for the experience, he's been there with the national team and for what he's done for Bodo Glimt. Sander Berger, Fulham, need I say more? Premier League experience, a decent enough midfielder. He's a steady Eddie. Doesn't do special things, but doesn't do things wrong. A steady Eddie just does his job and moves on. Then obviously you have the creative spark, their leader, their captain, Martin Odegaard, will be playing in the 10 position. He's the link, man. He's gonna create chances for them, man. He's the one that's gonna be serving up platter for the forward line. He should link the midfield to the forwards. He will be key for them as a leader, as a voice. I know Arsenal fans have been calling it out for his leadership, but I do think for the Norwegian team, he does lead them well. They've been performing well under him. Then you have obviously thingy Antonio Nusa in the wing. Exciting winger. What an exciting. I was watching their match. What was it against? The recent friendly, I forgot the opposition, but Nusa was just tearing them up. And their World Cup opposition, by the way, that they were playing, I think. He just tore them up. He tore up Italy also. Then you have obviously Haaland and Solos. it's interesting with solos, you know. I would personally play Oscar Bob there, but he seems to want solos there. He's not gonna run the channel solos. I think it's to play with Nusa, bringing the crosses. Solos joins in from, you know, from the tactical aspect of it. Solos is not really a winger. He'll just join in and cramp up the box with Haaland, you know, creating another option height wise, which might be key. Then obviously I have to touch on their best player, Erling Braut Haaland. Will he be top goal scorer? Will he be top goal scorer? Who knows? But he is a goal machine. He's leading the Norwegian, one of the leaders. If Odegaard is not there, I think he's holding the armband. One of the leaders, their best player, the best finisher, arguably in the world. Maybe Harry Kane has something to say about that. But, you know, what an elite player. He will lead this Norwegian side. And, you know, I'm on to the key positive victory for Norway. I think Norway can easily compete in this group. I think Norway will notch up goals in this group. I think Norway will cause a serious, you know, serious, how do you call it, like a serious challenge for France or Senegal. They could easily beat Senegal. I don't think there's much of a difference between them and Senegal. Maybe Senegal slightly ahead, you know, but then Norway could compete. And then France obviously will be a tall order, but you can do it. You know, you beat the Italians. I know Italy's down bad. It's very down bad. But, you know, if you're beating a top nation like Italy 5-1, you know, you can certainly go up against France, you know. I'm not saying they're on the same level, but similar nations, why, you know. And I think Norway can do it. France is not as strong as people are going to anticipate them to be for in my accord, you know. And then Senegal is pretty even. So Norway can do it. Just beat Senegal. You're obviously going to have to beat Iraq, you know, avoid a heavy defeat against France, or even notch up a draw or thing. You can, for me, any of these three teams, if they can just shock the other, can get first place. You know, people are just putting France there. The small teams are competing. You know, the smaller nations are competing in this World Cup. So we'll see, we'll see. But I expect goals. I expect Holland to notch up a few goals. I expect Odegaard maybe to get assists. But yeah, this team could go far, guys. This some people's dark horses, and I think they could. You know, I think they could. So we'll see, we'll see. I think they do make it out of this group, but we'll see to the knockouts. They don't have the depth, but we'll see, we'll see. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed, please like, please subscribe, please, you know, get into the comments, guys. And as always, share, share, share. And people, to end it off, peace.